Basics, arm swing approach, combination of the two, right? And it's pretty easy to break it down. There are certain merits in doing that. It gives us all more knowledge, etc., etc. Things like attacking, it happens very quickly. So the use of technology to slow it down and have kids analyze themselves, very valuable. So use your iPad, telephone, anything that you can I think Coach's Eye is one. UberSense is free. It's a free app. So those are two things that are really useful, especially in attacking. I think it's an S. UberSense or Coach's Eye. Okay, those are a couple apps that you can download. UberSense is the free one. Coach's Eye you have to pay for. I've never used Coach's Eye, but I hear it's good, and I hear UberSense is just as good, but maybe you have to deal with little advertising things and stuff. So anyway, arm swing. This is a super important one for me as I was learning how to play. I loved hitting, but I was the usual, I'm left-handed by the way, hitting above my head there, and you know, I'm a tall guy. I want to use my height. So when I got to UBC, probably the most important drill that helped me get a better arm swing was one over the net, right? The one over the net where you toss yourself, swing, hit it over the net. Anyone want to go on the other side? Other side? Anyone go on the other side? Ah, yeah. Nice. All right. So really, very basic. Toss yourself, hit the ball over the net, right? And but when you get to the younger groups, it can get a little complicated. So, you know, right now, if it's really basic, really early, there's nothing wrong with just a toss and a hit. Some super important things if you're videotaping or anything, you want to hit over top of your shoulder, reach as high as possible, hit the bottom side of the ball over the net, right? That's kind of the key things, all right? All right, so high toss, underneath the ball, over the net, right? Good. High toss, over the net. And then you start thinking, hey, don't hit the way you're facing. Different ways. Were you hitting the way you're facing? Oh, okay. All right. All right. Cross body, away from your body. There's a great way to work on that, but not all of us have a ton of net space, right? But, you know, the kids can do this when they walk in the gym if they're not doing 2 versus 2. And then you can start adding pass yourself, set to yourself, or you could add the first pass, okay? Because we're losing a few passing contacts here, rather than just letting the ball bounce, they could pretend to play defense, right? So this is where you could, you know, add to the drill, right? So play defense, so turn, play defense, catch it. Good, nice. And then hits. Were you facing me? Just curious. Were you facing directly to me? Yeah? Okay. Every time, try and change the way you face. All right, good. There we go. Nice, okay? And then if they get good at that, then you can add the set where it turns into continuous, okay? And that's where you're going to see the ball freaking go everywhere. To be honest, like at any level, it's going to go anywhere. And the more of those 2 versus 2 games you saw earlier, the more of the flow games that we do, the better. One issue I have with this is it's not quite game-like because you're not necessarily moving so much, but you're reading the ball coming over the net. So we have the game-like situation there, which is great. We're using the net to hit it over. So, you know, just to break it down to a lower level, to introduce things, it's good way of doing that. And then using the wall, this is, remember I told you a story about Dale Oman sending me over to the corner, right? Dale Oman, I was 19th player, send me, I was Olympic champion of wall passing. I also became very good at finding a target on the wall That's my target right there. All right, finding a target, being away from the wall, and trying to hit that target. Ooh, that's not bad for the first hit. Trying to hit that target, right? And you're thinking high, above your shoulder, reaching as high as you can, hit the bottom of the ball there. I'm not hammering it as hard as I can, then I'd be dropping my arm down here, right? And that does me no good, right? So we're picking a target high up on the wall, and you're trying to hit that target, right? And you can also introduce these drills, a drill like that, any wall stuff like that, so that your kids can use a school wall, like outside in the playground, use a school wall, and they're actually practicing skills that are useful, okay? And this is where you go around with the iPad, watch each kid. All of a sudden, usually people toss and it's over the wrong shoulder. Oh, I completely forgot. This is also a great opportunity to introduce the other hand. All right, toss, reach, finish. I was pretty close there. That's not bad for right-handed, right? Reach, toss, hit, okay? So it looks really funny, but it actually makes us smarter. That's why volleyball coaches, players are so smart. You have to use both arms. It's great. Obviously, one side a little more dominant on the hitting. Oh, crazy story. Okay, UBC, we went to Estonia to play. We're playing this club team. And there's this monster on this other team, right-handed, just crushing every ball, bam, bam. They beat us up pretty good. So we play the next day, and his shoulder was hurting. We're like, all right, he can't play. He starts warming up left-handed. We're like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And it only drew our attention because he just clubbed us with the right hand, right? He changed his whole approach and hit left-handed. We were just like, and dummied us again. But that's pretty amazing. However, we have that opportunity here. Motor learning, it'll actually help you be better with your dominant hand if you use your non-dominant hand, okay? So that's something to think about, and then you start thinking this, okay? So this is a great opportunity to introduce that. I completely forgot about it, but I'm glad I just remembered. So don't forget about it, all right? Remember to bring in the non-dominant hand. People will feel funny, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm left-handed, I feel funny every day. Doug, nothing? All right. Now, net and wall. Now the approach, in our manual, John noticed the level 1 manual that for coaching, they have some pictures on the spike approach. And the funny part is the pictures, the first 3 or 4 frames that they showed, there was no ball involved. How could John tell? I can't say I was able to tell because he asked me and I'm like, I don't know. And he obviously pointed it out to me. How could he tell that there was no ball involved?
They weren't looking. Their eyes weren't looking up.
The eyes weren't looking up. They have the classic guys waiting outside. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the next picture, he's watching the ball, right? Because the next 2 frames where he was up in the air. Okay, so it's important to get the footwork right, but it's also important to include a ball with that footwork because what goes with footwork is the timing of hitting. So you have to be able to learn to time your hit with the footwork. Okay, so that should go hand in hand. If someone's goofy-footed, I don't try and change them. I went to Europe, and some of the best hitters I saw play were goofy-footed. If someone's goofy-footed and they're right-handed, I would have them play on the right side because their hips are facing the wrong way and it's just easier for them. And if they're goofy-footed and left-handed, I'd have them play power. Even though I'm normal lefty and I play power, it's that, which is kind of weird, but anyway.
So have you got a little test for goofy or normal? Or?
Oh, well, goofy-footed is generally, if you're right-handed, left, right? But if I'm right-handed, and I'm on the right side here, right, left, right, but I'm right-handed. Okay? Right? So your hips are facing this way, and you're already torqued. That's why those goofy footers that I played in Europe had crazy angles and hit a ton. Okay, but that's just an aside. Some people have a philosophy, oh, I'm going to change them, I'm going to change them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but hey. The first thing is off the net. The best thing you can do for your kids, is hitting. The first thing, that's one of the first things that you should do with your teams. And what you should do, anyone want to hit some balls? Anyone want to hit? Ooh, sorry. Anyone want to hit? Anyone want to hit? Everyone tired? Come on, someone's got to want to hit. Come on. Oh, yeah, you're injured. Nice. Come on up. Anyone else want to hit? I'm going to need a few volunteers for the next drill, so you get to warm up. Thanks, guys. Yeah, nice. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to need 4 people for sure. I need at least one more. At least one more. Yeah, Doug. That's my big brother. It's so good. All right, so what's going to happen is, one of you, actually, we'll just all be in one line. We'll all be in one line. I'll start as a setter. No, I'll start as a setter. What we are going to learn today, guys, what we're going to learn is we are going to learn what Team Canada does for attack, all right? This is called a C ball. This is a pipe. That's an A ball. And we get to do that today, all right? So the way this works, is what I'm going to do, just to start, you can obviously build it up, right? Is when you have younger kids, they toss to themselves, set the ball, come in and hit. After you hit, you're the setter. Where am I standing? Where am I standing? Attack line. And I'm facing you guys. If I'm doing this part of the drill, I'm going to stand here, because generally sets come from this way. And just first basics, getting kids to think on the net, setting this way, okay? Just in this first step, you'll see the evolution of this drill, all right? So the first step, no, just right now. You guys, all 3 of you guys grab a ball, okay? And then after you set, you collect the ball. So here, are you ready? All right, set. All right, I get the ball, stay there. That's very different. People struggle with that. All right, and set, good. Okay, and you can actually have 3 different lines going. Hold on. We're hitting over here, right? We're hitting over here because there's another group hitting right here, and there's another group hitting over here. Okay? So you got that? Okay? So go ahead. Set, hit, jump and hit. Nice reach. Doug, hold on. Doug, you're setting, bud. Right. We don't want to teach kids running under the net. Right? We don't want to teach kids running under the net. We don't want to teach them their next job is to set. So that's why there's that little change, and it's a tough one. All right, here we go. Good. All right, now to build on this, oh yeah, you were supposed to get that one. All right, you get to hit next. All right, to build on this, you can add the toss to the pass, right? You can toss to pass. That scored, 1 point for me. Toss to pass, good, excellent, yeah. Good, excellent, very good. Okay, go ahead. Nice. And then you take it one step further. Come on, step here. Remember, we just had a setting demo. What's the position of the setter wants to be? Position at the net. How do we want our setters to stand? Open, okay. Now we're actually hitting really what Team Canada hits. C ball, okay? So you're in this position. They have to, you start with the ball here, okay? Toss the ball. They pass it up. I don't want you to face them. I want you to back set. Okay, got it? Okay, turn, back set, good. All right, good. Chase ball, target, good. All right, so you see the evolution of this drill. And the same thing is going on over here. So you have another setter with other players over here. Do your job. Okay, doing the front set, right? Doing the front set. Okay, keep going. Back set. Back set, get on behind it. Yeah, Dougie, nice. Yeah, oh, you got a little low. It's good, it's good. Keep it on your forehead. Okay, so, and then the same thing's going on doing the A here, doing the A, okay? And if you get really good, if your kids are pretty good, and you want to include the pipe, instead of having the pass, the setter gets a toss in from the hitter. So toss here. Let's pretend you're setting the pipe. So you'd be standing right here. Okay. So this is another way to add more players in to do this drill. And then one player would be right here doing the A. So come stand here. We're just kind of simulating it. Okay? So you'd be setting the A, you'd be hitting the pipe, you'd be hitting the C, and someone else is out there hitting there. Okay? And you're still working on the back set, all right, on this side. Okay? So it would come in and toss. Because a pass with 3 different lines could get a little random. Okay? The breakdown of the drill probably wouldn't be the best, but this is a way to incorporate the pipe and incorporate more hitters. Okay? And also hitting the balls that national teams are hitting. Okay? And what kid doesn't want to do that? Also, by hitting farther away from the net, you got space. Kids aren't afraid of landing on the net. Kids aren't afraid of that. And then you can step out of the drill because the kids are running the drill. And what do you get to do? Watch technique, videotape, show them, okay, this is what I see. This is what's going on. This is what we need to kind of think about more so. Start thinking speed to the ball. Wait, speed, right? Speed into the ball, attack. I recommend you YouTubing spike approach because what kids don't use are, if you watch any high-level team, the arms are worth 30% of your vertical. 30%. I played against Jiba, and he had some of the best arms in the world. I don't know if you know Jiba, Brazil. Great power hitter. And his backswing was incredible. All the way back here and fast, bam. And he was able to fly because of the use of the arms. Okay? So that's something to keep in mind here when you're watching for the skill of attack, okay? Now, we're just going to set up, where we have hitting an A ball, hitting a C ball, okay? Make sense? Hitting the A ball, hitting the C ball. Now, this is a great drill. You can add in things to this drill. I'm all about, okay, we got this one drill. We started at a very basic level. Boom. Added hitting, rather than self-toss set, adding in the pass. Adding in the pass set and then hit. Now, we're adding in defense. Okay? So now you add in defense on top of this drill. Okay, so the objective is to hit down the lines, and then you would have a couple players in 6. So could I have maybe 4 people? 4 people? 4 volunteers? 1, perfect, thank you. 2, 3, awesome. 1 more. Yes, thank you. All right, perfect. Now, this is where you get to reinforce your starting positions because, you know, like it's a good coach. If you don't change drills, you got a lot more time to coach because they all know the drill. You're just adding on to it, right? Okay, so 2 people are side by side in 6. Okay, 2 people are more or less on the sidelines. People have different starting positions for defense. Mine's always right here on the sideline because I like using the sideline. It helps me know what's in or out. That's me though. I'm old school. But what doesn't happen on defense? You know, this relates to attack. Attack's job is to get the ball to the ground. Defense's job is to keep it off the ground, okay? Now, what doesn't happen on defense is our movement. Like our defensive movement doesn't happen because we play pepper, all right? It doesn't happen in that 3-way pepper. But here we get to reinforce our defensive movement, okay? So just 1 second, right here. On the sideline, back, hop, right? Back, hop, okay? 1, 2, hop. Both sidelines, same thing. In the middle of the court, you're in the middle, you got to be able to shuffle to one side. But the shuffle goes backwards at an angle, creating more space because you are the safety valve. right now, I'm just having the six-back essentially slide to the line because our block is going way cross court, and they're just a big line hitter, and they're hitting at 2 defenders. That's the simulation that we're doing right now, okay? Because their job is to hit down the line. Okay, makes sense? All right. So make sure when you're watching this, you're watching your defensive movement. This is defensive movement, but also attacking drill, right? So we're kind of just adding on to that. All right? Good. Nice. 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 Good. Nice hit, Doug. Okay, yeah, and then you guys come back. Good. Remember, go back to your starting positions and then make the little movement. In 6, you got to get back to the center, right? Side by side of the center. Good. Nice job. Move. Good. All right. Nice. Good read. Good read. Okay? So make sure you film them. Nice talk. That's all right. Okay? Getting tired, Doug? Yeah. Good.
Hit it again.
I got it, Doug.
Yep.
All right, good. Excellent. Give a little round of applause. Well done. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so then you'd switch the players. You'd switch the groups. So maybe Doug, go play defense. This group, go play defense. This group, come on over here. Yeah, target practice. Okay, so this side would be back setting, this side front setting. Okay, and start with toss, pass. Good, nice. Oh, lefty. I like it. Okay, and remember on defense, where do we want to dig the ball? It's high middle. Where's our start position? Start position. Hold on one second. Defense, starting position. Up here. Doug, you're in 5? Okay. Remember, in your 6, you're there, right? 6. Yeah, you're playing 6. You're just making that same movement, okay? Volleyball is about patterns, especially on defense, patterns. So if you're able to groove those patterns, they'll be able to read the play better because the feet are already moving, they're not thinking so much. Nice swing, nice dig. All right, excellent. So this is just kind of the feel of it, and you can get quite a few people in there going through the hitting waves. I like people getting an opportunity to hit 5, 10 before they switch to the next job. If people are just running to the next job, they're just thinking about the next job versus what they're doing right now. Okay, so I like, you get 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts at the one thing, and then you switch to the next thing, okay? So that's just kind of my own philosophy of where the repetition gets a little better. Age group? Any age group. Any age group. Yeah. I think any age group this works. Whereas if it was a younger age group, you could still have them starting on defense like that, but a younger age group, you could probably not start with that. You could start with this. Toss and hit. But remember, on the right side, I kind of like the toss and hit always face the one direction, just because that's generally the way it is, right? But good question. Is there anything you want more with the hitting? I'm just kind of let's go with some questions, and then we can try and demonstrate and work it out on the floor. Yeah.
Tips for how you get kids to do some of the fundamentals, like fast feet, big arm swing, quick arm, those kinds of tips. How do you?
Thanks for helping volunteer. That was great. Thank you. How do you tips to get the speed? You show them some videos before you practice is a great way. Another way is to make them go fast. I did serve receive to reception, and the faster the set, the faster they have to go. So if they're used to just getting high ball, they're going to go slowly, okay? They're going to go slowly. Now, when you're attacking, I'm right-handed on the left side, so I'm on this side of the court. If you go straight into the net, the ball's coming perpendicular, really hard to hit, right? That's why we say get outside the court. But volleyball is all about a game of flow, and a flow from pass to attack carries that momentum in, okay? So I like doubles working on the pass to attack, okay? So this is where, you'd pass a free ball to someone on the team gives a free ball over, or you get to work on serve receive, doubles, pass to attack. So, and then it's speed in there. And if the set is faster, that means they have to go faster. I struggle with this one. I struggle with that. It's losing the flow of the game, okay? So pass, attack, pass. Pass first, step, boom. Okay? That was right-handed footwork too. Doesn't happen every day. All right, pass. Hop, boom, boom. That was left-handed, sorry. No, but it's hop, right, left, right, in, okay? But if you tell kids that, they won't be able to do it fast. That's the struggle. You just got to get, the biggest thing is give them cue words. Get outside, make it smooth transition into your hit, try and time your hit as best you can, okay? Start there, and then see what you get, and then try and lead them into what it looks like. It's going to take a little while, and there's nothing wrong with you doing the steps and helping show them, but the server passer to hitter, 1, 2, and around and in, okay? And if it's a faster set or a poor pass, then you just cut that off. You don't get out as far, okay? As a lefty on the left side, I was able to cut it off. Question?
He asked about arm swing and
arm swing.
So I'm sure a bunch of you know this one, but Batman, Superman, Robin, you know this?
Yeah.
Arms back is the cape.
Yeah.
Batman, Superman,
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah. Speed for arm swing? Working on arm swing is that toss in there where you toss two hands, reach up, swing. Working on the arm swing. But speed of arm, that needs to come when you're doing those shots for sure. These ones, it's a lot easier to have a slower arm. But I think the more people hit and see people hit hard, the harder, faster their arms get. I don't know, like the more people that are hitting, the harder people are going to hit. It's just kind of like, you can say try and have a faster arm, but if you're not able to read the play and put yourself in that position to hit the ball, you could have the fastest arm in the world. Like the reading of the game comes in, and I like those cues. Those cues are great. It helps kids think about that. But also, if they're able to, see themselves do it, then they're able to make that connection. Am I actually doing it, or am I not? You know what I mean? And I'm a strong believer that there's going to be variation in what's out there, and it's important that we actually celebrate that variation and not make everyone into that cookie cutter. It doesn't necessarily have to look exactly the way that I think it should look, but that's my own philosophy. So, things are going to work for people that aren't going to work for others. So the more varied attack you have at that, the better it's going to be.
A couple of questions about adjustments.
Yeah.
Are there any tricks you can teach young students about reading a ball off the setter's hand, so to know that it's not coming all the way out and I have to step inside?
Talk to them, or talk to your setter.
Okay.
Number one, that's probably the biggest thing that hitters don't do is communicate to your setter. They usually, if they say anything, it's usually here or hey, right? There should be communication of what set is coming. And for me, I like having 3 sets: high ball, And you're only getting a high ball if you've fallen down, and you can only get a high ball if it's a dig into like back half of the court or someone else's setting other than the setter. That's the only time you're getting a high ball. Medium, a medium ball that the setter, the hitter wants just a medium ball. And whenever I can, I run fast. And I'm playing at the senior level, so the girls are used to that. So maybe at your level, and depending on your setter, high ball or medium. But the communication's important. And the second thing that's important is that they practice it. And if you're doing that 3-meter hitting drill, they'll get better at hitting a ball that is off the net. And the number one thing that I learned as a player is I like hitting balls off the net. I was a shorter player in international standards, and I survived only because I was off the net. Out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds. Thank you very much. No one can play defense, and you just use that block, right? Because what happens when you're able to hit a ball that's off the net, the timing of the block's different, and all of a sudden you're getting kills, whereas if you were one step closer, that's a block for them. It was so frustrating for blockers. They'd go up and block, and then they'd be coming down, the ball trickles underneath them and goes down for a point. And this is international volleyball. This is happening to some of the top players in the world. And they would just be pulling their hair out or, just off the hands, out of bounds because of the timing of the block, okay?
It's ironic. It's like in tennis, one of the hardest volleys to do is a soft ball over the ball, over the net. It's just like you said, it's hard to pass a short ball. It's not what they're expecting.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Yeah. It's something that I think we don't focus on is we get the ball a little too close, so then kids are tentative. If we keep that set off the net, kids will be aggressive, and then with the aggressiveness comes arm speed, speed of approach, and then also the timing. One thing about the approach though, let's say you're on the spot and the set's behind me, left, right, left. Like you can step backwards. I've seen people do that, right? So that left is the directional step. The left is the directional step. The left is the directional step. And that just comes from experience. That left, right, left, that's the experience, is the direction, all right? So the direction can even be back, right? So that's an important little note is the left is the directional step, back, forward, inside, outside, that left step. If you're right-handed, asterisk. I always try and pay attention to lefties. If you're right-handed, okay? Question first, second.
Do you have a suggestion for like the pre-game when your team gets to have a bit of time for attacking on one of the most effective drills you can give them their best?
Usually you don't have a lot of time, and so I want my setter to touch the ball and set the ball. So I don't toss balls for them because there's not many times where they're going to get a ball like this from the coach during the game. That's just not going to happen. So why have them practice it just before a game? There is merit to the toss the ball over, pass, hit, but it depends on the skill of your team. I do like the beach kind of tossing the setter has to hit, but then again that comes to your setter's skill and the passer's skill. So usually it ends up being coach just tossing balls. But I might change that next year, toss ball over to libero passes, hits. But before a game it's really hard because you're usually sharing, sometimes not. Like it's just random. But I think making sure your setter gets in there and you're not the person tossing the balls, because you're not going to be on the court tossing the balls during the game. But yeah, hold on. Here first and then back to you.
Talk a little bit about the arm mechanics so that you prevent injury.
Preventing injury is all about reaching as high as possible. I was one of those lucky people that never had shoulder problems because I did drills like this hitting over top of the net. Like if you're hitting over top of a net, that means you're not dropping your elbow. And as a coach, you can go around and watch for that. And if you're hitting over the top of your head, you're not reaching as high as possible. Okay, so it's just reach as high as possible. And the mechanics come from the approach. 2 hands are back, 2 hands are up, turn. Opposite, this is a big one. Opposite arm comes into the body. Okay, reaching high, and either finish thumb down for, oh, let me do this way. Reach high, okay, left arm comes in, thumb down, across, okay? Those are the 2 different shots. And then, you know, there's high, deep corner, seam, cross court, line, right? Okay? So everything's up here, up here, up here, okay? And it's a little finish with the abs, wherever you're going. Bam, bam, right? Okay, and the hips kind of come up, right? But mechanics all come from that approach. Both hands are back, both hands are up. That gives you balance in the air. That arm starts the rotation. Do you remember yesterday? John drew up the stick man up there, where all the power of hitting comes from? Comes from the rotation. The rotational force, the torque, that's where, what do you say? 42% of your power comes from that rotation. Was it 38? No, I think the arm was more. Was the arm more?
Arm was more. Arm was greater.
I didn't write any notes on that, so. But okay, it was one of the top 2. The rotational force that you generate is the most important, okay? And that only comes if you use your approach, both arms, balance, turn, that arm comes in.
42 is arm, 38 is torque.
42, 38 is torque, and then arm. And the thing is if you think about physics, the longer the lever, the more
I
power.
think they were saying like how much was the gut? I think that was way down as
Yeah.
compared to what most people would have thought.
Yep.
The hammer's only going 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a good thing to keep in mind, but what keeps that there is the arms back, up, turn, comes in, okay? All right? And we're reaching high. That's why we have those wall drills with the tape, so that people are reaching high. Like, if you remember that video John showed of those, what was it, 10-year-olds? I think, 11-year-olds? And their arm swings were pretty incredible. They were really high contact because they're forced to do that against the wall. How many of us warmed up against the wall down on the ground? Hands up, hands up, hands up. How many of us just enjoyed that? Yeah, a lot of us. You get to hammer the ball straight down. But that is counter to what we want for an arm swing. So that's, if you allow that to keep happening, expect arm swings to be down here. Really, like, you know, that's just really goes hand in hand with having a high contact point. Okay? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Were you next? Sorry. And then we'll get there.
If you have a player who, when they're doing an approach, generally gets under the balls, so the ball's always not in front of them, do you have any suggestions on drills or anything that would help that?
So the 2 things that determine getting to the ball is speed of approach and when they're leaving. So if they're underneath the ball, what do you think? Are they super fast? No. So what do you think they're doing? Leaving too early, right? So those are the two things to get yourself to the ball. Speed and when you leave. So if you're getting underneath the ball, you're just leaving a little too soon, okay? So those are the things, you don't really want to be telling your kids every time they hit, oh, you're leaving too early. Oh, go sooner, go later. You want them to learn those things. But you could point out, hey, look, I've been watching you. It seemed like you're underneath the ball. How do you think, these 2 things get you there, speed and when you leave. So what do you think you need to do? Or maybe they're starting their approach too close. They're used to the ball right on the net and the ball's off the net, right? So, and that's where you can also watch that first step. Is that first step too big? The first step's supposed to be smaller. That's the directional one. Unless it's really close to the net. okay? So it could be the first step as well. Because if that first step is too big, all of a sudden, I'm too close, okay? So I got to the third point, the first step, okay? That first step is super important, directional, and depending on where the sets goes, okay? Next question. Yeah.
Three hitting positions across, obviously the angle, the lane they take to get is different. But anything you change in educating them on the arm swing?
Let me you educate them on arm swing. Reach high, hit it as hard as you can.
But anything different about the three hitting positions?
Three hitting positions, yeah. If you're right-handed on the right side, stay inside the court. Right-handed on the right side, stay inside the court. Left-handed on the right side, get outside, okay? First thing. Second thing, middles. Oh, I'm glad you asked that. Middles, start here, 3-meter line. You do not. I played with guys 6'9" in the middle. They spike. If someone says, "Oh, I'm tall, I need more room," no, you don't. I played with guys 6'9", and they spike approach from the 3-meter line. It's just a shorter first step. Okay. Now, middles. Always forget to watch the ball to the setter. It's super hard. Super hard. Doug, you want to toss the ball, please? Thanks, man. All right. I'm a middle. All right. Toss the ball back there. Where's the ball coming from if I'm not passing it? Back here, right? So you got to get good. Toss the ball, pretend there's a setter. Pretend there's a setter there. Yeah, perfect. At any point, am I looking at the setter? Yeah, right here. I'm even jumping right-handed. This is weird. Hey. Yeah, right here. Okay. Am I watching my setter? No. Okay. And that's probably one of the biggest things. The most difficult one for middle, here, toss from over here, is this one. Because most middles are right-handed, I suggest your middles open this way. If they open this way, they're going to have a lot of troubles. Open this way, your weight's still on your right foot. Go ahead. Watch the ball. Yeah. Yeah, right here. Okay. Nice. Okay, so open from the middle. Okay, you're watching it go this way. You're watching the ball to the setter. Okay, and then giving a voice target. On the left side, a lot of us have left side work. Get outside the court, keep momentum into the ball. Try not to do the weight, okay, because you want to think about the next step. The next step is continuation of that into approach, and there's no reason why any kid can't do that, okay? All it is pass, momentum, 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 boom, okay? All right? So it's just momentum in there, okay? So that's probably one of the big things. Keep that momentum. Don't have the straight run and stop, okay? Anything else? I think, where's Bergie? Yeah? Well, using the wall is probably the best thing for arm swing, because most places have a wall, using the net for the arm swing. And the 2 versus 2, you can give a special focus. We're going to really focus on this part, right? We're going to focus on the pass flow into the hit, you know what I mean? But really, it takes a while. It takes a while. This isn't like instantaneous for most people. But once people get it, it starts flowing. And I suggest starting as much as you can with spiking. It's because it's fun. Everyone wants to do it. And involve everyone in setting. Involve everyone in the setting, okay? Not just having your setters. Because you never know what people are going to play. There's one match where I was playing for Canada. I went in first set middle, second set power, third set right side. Okay? You just never know what's going to happen, right? So it's just good to give kids the opportunity. And the more versatile your team is, the better they're going to be, because they're going to make a play when you need a play. You just never know when it's going to happen, right? But just stick with the process. Use the ball, use the net, use these drills where they're allowed space, and really give them visuals. Give them visuals. And then, hopefully we'll get there. Yeah.
What about transitioning?
Transition? Transition. It's all about work.
So but the best way of teaching them to open up to the court?
Well, you just got to watch for it. If you block, you're always opening up to the court, right? What's the first thing you need to do? Maybe set. Maybe save the ball, maybe put it over, right? First thing. Second thing, get the heck out of there. Get the heck out of there. Boom, boom, boom. That's where the stop and go happens, right? When you're transition, that's when you do that stop and then get back in, okay? It's rare, but sometimes you might cover a tip, then you can swing. Hit off that tip because you're inside the court. But if you're coming off a block, let's say I'm in power here, boom, turn, don't set, outside, yeah, high ball, high ball, high ball. Okay? I'm so used to doing it, I still did a little circle. I didn't go boom, boom. If you're able to add that little step, that just gives you the helps, okay? But really, transition comes down to hustle and them identifying what their jobs are. First one, block, turn. What's there? Nothing. And trying not to, I just taught dance. Trying not to cross over as much as you can. Okay, so, actually, hold on, you do cross over. Terrible. Defense, you don't cross over. Crosses, okay. Cross and then hop. Cross, hop. That would be my land, open, cross, hop. And you can get pretty far. Okay, open, cross, hop. And if kids are having trouble with that, get out there as fast as you can. Sometimes, as fast as you can, get out there, right? And just make sure they're opening the court. Do I set? Go back, hit, okay? Cool, yeah?
Just some few words I had learned for approach steps, power, plant, pop.
Power, plant, pop. Nice, I like it. Power, plant, pop. Technically, the first one is directional. Second one is the big one. Third one's together, okay? Power, plant, pop. Nice, okay.
What's your theory on the height of the net for the U12, U13?
Honestly, the higher the net, what do they have to do? Jump higher, jump harder. Yeah. What else do they have to do? Reach higher. It forces them to hit higher. I always practice at a higher net. My team doesn't know that. Because there's no lines here on how high the net is. And when Dave comes in to ref a match, he's like, this is like 2 inches high. I'm like, oh, well, sorry. That's just force of habit. Anyway. I think I'm done. I think I'm done unless anyone's got another question. Yeah?
What age do you teach girls to pancake?
Never. Pancake is the worst defensive thing. That is emergency. If it means you got to dig, great. But usually people are pancaking because they're like this. And then they fall like a tree and put their hand out. That's kind of like starfish defense. But there are times when pancakes happen, but if you're in defensive position and reading the game, great. Pancakes, last resort, emergency. So I don't really spend any time on pancaking. But sometimes we have a game with the girls, they'll see if they're able to tip a ball that I can't get. And usually I end up pancaking, but
If you have an overall short team, what's the best set you can give a shorter player?
Off the net. Off the net. If you have players that maybe aren't as tall, like one of my best players a couple of years ago, she was seriously 5'3" maybe? And she had the craziest hits that were just at the net. The other team couldn't see it because it's at the net. The defense couldn't see the ball. and then it would hit the block, go down. Like, it's so annoying for another team. But off the net, because off the net, all of a sudden the hitter has the advantage on a big block especially. The block's not used to that timing. They hit it high, off the block out of bounds, high, deep corner. All of a sudden you have all that space, 12.8 meters, all that space, deep corner. And not many defenses are there to get that ball, right? So a shorter team, off the net, this 3-meter hitting, great, all right? Because, you know, the variance in the 3-meter hitting, you're going to be hitting a ball here, you're going to be hitting a ball here, you're going to be hitting a ball here, right? So you get good at hitting a ball that's off the net. All of a sudden, when you're a little closer to the net, oh, man, right? So, I don't know. It's simple. Volleyball, simple. Very simple. Yeah.
What do you think about adding in the forward trajectory on the attack, like the approach for
Oh, jumping into a ball?
getting that forward trajectory?
Okay, well, the further away from the net, the more straight ahead I'm going to jump. Closer to the net, the more I'm going to jump kind of vertically straight up, and that means I have to have more of a beach jump, because beach spike is different than indoor, where indoor we're floating, beach you're jumping straight up, okay? So there's a subtle difference there. If the ball gets closer to the net, you want your kids jumping straight up. If your ball's off the net, floating into the ball, I like it.
Do you like any wording to tell them about looking at that ball and thinking about jumping to where it is? And that differs a little bit about from when we tell them to study the flight of the ball and get under it for passing or setting. We tell them to figure where it's going to go and get under it. But I've read for that forward trajectory to comment to them so that they understand you can actually with speed, hustle, jump and get to where it currently is. You can rather than wait for where it's coming, because now you're having, you're trying to you can get to where it is at its height.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you go for it, and now you're really going to get there early at its height.
Where that one really comes into play is when you start setting faster sets. Okay. Go get that ball.
Go get that ball.
You know, that's my cue word. Go get that ball. That ball is yours to go get. Like, you go get it, and then that kind of mindset, right? Going to get that ball. I was going to say one more thing. When we ended up winning provincials a couple years ago, I think we scored 2, 3, maybe 4 points on overbumps. That's something that is free points, and kids like hitting overbumps. They're fun. It's just something that people just always forget to do, overbump practice. Just don't have passers passing overbumps. We don't want to practice that. Toss overbump. I think that's about it. Thanks very much, and hopefully I didn't tire you out.